So, first, I want to thank you for not noticing, not recognizing that post with business on it today. I saw it, I just couldn't resist. Yeah, I was a bad boy. That willfulness happened. Anyway, so I love you like absolute stinking crazy and all that combined. And it's absolutely blowing my mind with inspiration. It's kind of like this is not easy to do. You're doing it consistently. So. You told me don't sell yourself short. You weren't whistling Pepsi. Holy shit. Anyway, so I love you to bits, both of you. Just absolutely crazy. Anyway, so having said that to our wives, let's get on to the purpose of the state of the union, our marriage, and this world is precarious right now. Like, we're not listening to people who have been whose word is useful to recognize. Isaiah, Ezekiel, and a whole bunch of the little guys. You know, I'm not a biblical scholar, but I've been a poet, and I've been worshiping the truth for a while, and so this book really speaks volumes to anyone who has the wit to read it. For instance, warning to the women of Jerusalem. This is Isaiah. The Lord said, "Look how proud the women of Jerusalem are. They walk along with their noses in the air. They are always flirting. They take dainty little steps, and the bracelets on their ankles jingle. But I will punish them. I will shave their heads and leave them bald. A day is coming when the Lord will take away from the women of Jerusalem everything they are so proud of, the ornaments they wear on their ankles, on their heads, on their necks, and on their wrists. He will take away their veils and their hats, the magic charms they wear on their arms and their waists, the rings they wear on their fingers and in their noses, all their fine robes, gowns, cloaks, and purses, the revealing garments and their linen handkerchiefs, and the scarves and long veils they wear on their heads. Instead of using perfume, they will stink. Instead of fine belts, they will wear coarse ropes. Instead of having beautiful hair, they will be bald. Instead of fine clothes, they will be dressed in rags. Their beauty will be turned to shame. The men of the city, yes, even the strongest men, will be killed in war. The city gates will mourn and cry, and the city itself will be like a woman sitting on the ground stripped naked." Now, Hitler did a pretty good job of delivering on this message. Can I say this? This is because the Jews didn't listen. I got hard of hearing too, so I know the problem. But when you don't listen, constantly, it becomes a real issue. And it goes on, when that time comes, 7 women will grab hold of one man and say, "We can feed and clothe ourselves, but please let us say you are our husband so that we won't have to endure the shame of being unmarried." The Lord will judge and purify the nation and wash away the guilt of Jerusalem and the blood that has been shed there. So, but you don't get that for free. That's what you understand. The stuff you need to do in order for this to happen. Like, purification is about truth in the Bible. The Bible's poetry. 99% poetry. I say 90% poetry, 5% history, and 5% stand-alone facts of truth. That God created the world. And evolution. and Carl Sagan and Richie Jenkins. You might find it interesting. I know I did when I read it. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord. He was sitting on his throne, high and exalted, and his robe filled the whole temple. Around him, flaming creatures were standing, each of which had 6 wings. Each creature covered its face with 2 wings, its body with 2, and used the other 2 for flying. They were calling out to each other, "Holy, holy, holy, the Lord Almighty is holy." So even holier than fiat dollars. His glory fills the world. And it does. The sound of their voices made the foundations of the temple shake, and the temple itself became filled with smoke. I said, "There's no hope for me. I'm doomed, because every word that passes my lips is sinful, and I live among people whose every word is sinful. And yet with my own eyes I have seen the King, the Lord Almighty." Then one of the creatures flew down to me, carrying a burning coal he had taken from the altar with a pair of tongs. He touched my lips with the burning coal and said, "This has touched your lips, and now your guilt is gone, and your sins are forgiven." I know I had that experience. I got forgiven for a lot, too. Right? Then I heard the Lord say, "Whom shall I send? Who will be our messenger?" I answered, "I will go, send me." So he told me to go and give the people this message. No matter how much you listen, you will not understand. No matter how much you look, you will not know what is happening. This is 3,000 years ago. Then he said to me, "Make the minds of these people dull, their ears deaf, and their eyes blind, so that they cannot see or hear or understand. If they did, they might turn to me and be healed." I asked, "How long will it be like this, Lord?" He answered, "Until the cities are ruined and empty, until the houses are uninhabited, until the land itself is a desolate wasteland. I will send people far away, make the whole land desolate, and to even if one person of 10 remains in the land, he too will be destroyed. He will be taken like a stump of an oak tree that has been cut down." A stump represents a new beginning for God's people. Anyway, all this stuff has happened and is happening. The people of Israel have not repented. Even though the Lord Almighty has punished them, they have not returned to Him. In a single day the Lord will punish Israel's leaders and His people. He will cut them off, head and tail. The old and honorable men are dead, and the tail is prophets whose teachings are lies. Those who lead these people have misled them and totally confused them, and so the Lord will not let any of the young men escape, and He will not show pity on any of the widows and orphans, because all the people are godless, wicked, and everything they say is evil. And even so, the Lord's anger will not be ended, but His hand will be stretched out to punish. The wickedness of peoples burns like a fire that destroys thorn bushes and thistles. It burns like a forest fire that sends up columns of smoke. Like, this is what happens when you lie, right? It's the truth. His punishment burns like a fire throughout the land and destroys people, and it is each of us for ourselves. Everywhere in the country, people snatch and eat any bit of food they can find, but their hunger is never satisfied. They even eat their own children. You're doing this now. Like, you're sending your children off to war to feed George Bush and his buddies a bunch of barbecue meat for the next 50 years, basically. Okay, and now jump some in terms. I reached out to punish those kingdoms that worship idols, idols more numerous than those of Jerusalem and Samaria. I've destroyed Samaria and all its idols, and I will do the same to Jerusalem and the images that are worshipped there. So, God really isn't big on idols. I don't know if you ever read this book or not, but so I have a personal relationship with God, and I'm His King of Kings, and so I can't believe, when I read this. You need to remember, I've got grade 10 education, so I have to think that people with literary prowess and certainly scriptural prowess. We see the correlation between what's going on here today and what's going on in the Bible, what's going on here today, right now. Somewhere it says, I believe it's in Revelations, that there will be a true king that comes but rules only for an hour. That would be JFK out there. That's true king this world's known. Everyone else is a thief. All of them. And all the jurists make it okay. They make it legal, hunky-dory. Suck their blood all you like. They're idiots. What do they know? Don't have a law degree, these fuckers. They're peasants. Dead peasants already. Let's go to the country club and celebrate this week's haul from Blood and Poor. So, God damn it up for Jack Daniels. Single malt scotch. Anyway. The royal line of David is like a tree that has been cut down, but just as new branches sprout from the stump, a new king will arise from among David's descendants. The Lord will give the people of Israel relief from their pain and suffering and from the hard work they were forced to do. When He does this, they are to mock the king of Babylon and say, "The cruel king has fallen. He will never oppress anyone again. The Lord has ended the power of the evil rulers who angrily oppressed the peoples and never stopped persecuting the nations they had conquered. Now at last the whole world enjoys rest and peace. Everyone sings for joy." So there is this possibility the Bible continuously holds forth as kind of a carrot, if you will, for this donkey anyway. Because you ruined your country and killed your own people, you'll not be buried like other kings. None of your evil family will survive. Let the slaughter begin. The sons of this king will die because of their ancestors' sins. None of them will ever rule the earth or cover with cities. So if you don't listen, it costs you. He goes on to say, God will punish Syria and Israel. The Lord said, Damascus will not be a city any longer. It will only be a pile of ruins. The cities of Syria will be deserted forever. They will be a pasture for sheep and cattle, and no one will drive them away. Israel will be defenseless, and Damascus will lose its independence. Those Syrians who survive will be in disgrace like the people of Israel. I, the Lord Almighty, have spoken. I don't know what the Syrians have done. I don't know what they're doing today. I know they're still bugger humping with the laws of God. They claim to be Muslim, and they're killing each other for pence. Looks to me like. The Lord said, a day is coming when Israel's greatness will come to an end, and its wealth will be replaced by poverty. Israel will be like a field where the grain has been cut and harvested, as desolate as a field in Rephaim Valley when it has been picked bare. Only a few people will survive, and Israel will be like an olive tree from which the olives have been picked, except 2 or 3 at the very top, or a few that are left in the lower branches. I, the Lord of Israel, have spoken. When that day comes, people will turn for help to their Creator, the Holy God of Israel. They will no longer rely on altars they made with their own hands, or trust in their own handiwork, symbols of the goddess Asheroth, and altars for burning incense, or Georgie Bush's penis. Okay, Dick Cheney's too. Okay, I kind of suck that kind of shit out of I gotta admit, and the last bit ain't true biblical stuff, it's just my stuff. Anyway, so, like a lot of really smart guys have had Congress with God. Now, I'm not saying I'm really smart, but I have Congress with him now, and so do my queens, and so the thing is, and other people as well. There's quite a number of people right now, and so. Like, you want to start, giving up your thefts, and whatever scripture is yours, whether it's the Sikh Dharma, because that's beautiful stuff too. I've seen it written like Guru Ram Das did not lie. I don't know about the rest of them right now, but beautiful man, Guru Ram Das, worth listening to. So is Moses, so is Isaiah, so is Jesus, so is Muhammad. Understand? But you need to remember that most scripture is poetry and speaking to people at different altitudes, the different altitudes on which they live, in which they live. And, so you can read this like a novel, or you can read it like a science manual, like Howard Dinkins and Richie Dawkins does, or whatever their names are. Carl Sagan and Richie Dinkins. Anyway, don't try to use it as a math textbook or something and fail miserably and go, oh, it's wrong. But it's worth but it also says some really good things too, because like I know I've been punished for stuff I didn't even do. I've been punished for stuff because I didn't do other stuff. Understand? Anyway, so but if you've got an open heart and an open mind, like you can benefit, like you learn. Like I never lost from any punishment I've ever been given by God. And I mean some of it would shake leaves off trees. I'm telling you, on a quiet day. But it always has balm with it, understand? And it's the balm I live for. So I don't even try to be perfect anymore. I can never do it, first of all. But like I'm alert to when I've done wrong, and so I apologize to God. It was halfway worth it, or not. But like you need to develop your own relationship with God. This is what Jesus' ministry was all about. It has been bugger-fucked blind from the get-go by priests and bishops and popes and cardinals and shit. They understood there's a hierarchy to creation. There is. But man does not sit at the top of it. And if you ever want to present yourself as a king for God, then you need to do like Jesus did, like Muhammad did, like Lord Buddha did, like Guru Ram Das did. Be a hero for your people, like John Kennedy did. Be a hero for your people. If you get shot, you get killed, so what? You have to hang it with God. If you don't, you have to live your whole life wrong. Too bad. Understand? Anyway, so This is God's day, it's God's Sabbath, I can't go with you. You know, I spent up until about 3 o'clock this afternoon in God's company alone. That was delicious. I like to go back there soon, so I want to get this State of the Union thing done. Well, for a little while I can have some dinner. I'll come home and meditate and be with my God for a while longer. It's the most priceless thing in my life. And I take it for granted sometimes. I do. I really shouldn't, but he insists it's not a problem, but I think for me it is. Just like all the abundance I've been given in every way that I live. I remember about 3 years ago, when I got out of jail, I used to have to pawn this ring to be able to make ends meet over a month. I never let it stay in pawn longer than 1 or 2 months. I kept waiting to pawn broke when they go broke or some shit. It has sentimental value for me, and all the rest of the stuff, I sold. But that's what I kept. So the thing is, God tells me you're never going to have to pawn that ring again. Didn't say to me, listen to me, don't listen to me, nothing. He just said, that's not going to happen anymore. I said, sure. They get maybe $600 a month to live on, but I never spent $600 a month in my life. I just spend $600 a month on phone bills. Anyway, I was looking at $600 a month and pawning my one piece of jewelry that I had left. I had good feelings for it, and so he was right. I am by far, I think, the richest poor man in Canada. I'm bragging, I'm not trying to say this. It's just, he keeps his word, like, without any doubt whatsoever, whether I can see it or not, the how of it. He does, and so I should have faith in him and in my gods that this wait isn't going to last forever, and that, I just need to, just practice patience and pray. That's all I can do. I want us both so bad. He knows it. And you know it. And everybody else knows it too. The whole world probably knows this. I was getting still begging the queens to come home now. Soap opera. I gotta admit it's more interesting than the Kardashians. More at stake too. Anyway. So the State of our Union on Sunday, June 9th, it's healthy, it's growing, it's still got some significant swelling near the arteries. And I'm dire need of a little tenderloin too. The whole thing, everybody is that, but this is not stuff that God does to people. You need to understand this. This is stuff that he's saying you're going to do it yourself. I'm going to allow this to happen to you. You just fucking watch. You don't do this. You don't listen to me. You keep worshiping your fucking dildos and your hairdos ahead of me. This is what you're going to get. And he doesn't listen to this. I don't even think he knows the tune. So I'm going to go, what does he know? A king with integrity. Someday there will be a king who rules with integrity, and national leaders who govern with justice. Each of them would be like a shelter from the wind and a place to hide from storms. They'll be like streams flowing in a desert, like the shadow of a giant rock in a barren land. Their eyes and ears will be open to the needs of the people. They will not be impatient any longer, but will act with understanding and will say what they mean. Holy much. Think that could happen? That means none of them would be stealing something too, wouldn't it? No, that had to be true for that other thing to happen. No one will think that a fool is honorable or say that a scoundrel is honest. So when we get done with this thing, I think we've got to be pretty clear about this, okay? A fool speaks foolishly and thinks up evil things to do. What he does and what he says are an insult to the Lord, and he never feeds the hungry or gives thirsty people anything to drink. A stupid person is evil and does evil things. He plots to ruin the poor with lies and to keep them from getting their rights. But an honorable person acts honestly and stands firm for what is right. Yeah, so I'm this guy. I got no hidden agendas other than I want to get my wives back. I got, nobody, I don't owe anybody any hand jobs. I'm not going to be giving any, or soliciting any either. I'm not interested in anything but your truth. I don't care why you stole shit or why you hama. I just want to know that, what your story is. Each of you is important to me personally. 7 billion. That's a lot of work. I don't want your money to do this job. I don't need your money. I don't need your agreement. I'm not running for election. I don't care whether you like me or not. I'm going to be giving you some suggestions on a weekly basis and on Sunday nights, inshallah. And if you're smart, at least listen to some of them. And you might want to, in secret, you try and practice the principles I'm suggesting. Don't have to tell nobody, you don't have to join anything. It's not about joining anything. I don't need any disciples. I don't care whether you like me, you don't like me. I've told you this before, right? So, but I do need you healthy. I need the smiles that I know are inside there showing. And so you get a lot of crap in the way of this. Which you're worshiping and you're addicted to. And you think, if I lose that, well, who will I be? Well, you'll be somebody that you'll say, I used to be different, now I'm the same. You'll be yourself. That's who you're going to be. Now you're not. Now you're trying to be whoever thinks you should be. You got concerns that aren't yours, you got wants that aren't yours, you got all kinds of shit hanging on to you, and blinds you and deafens you to all kinds of fruitful intercourse with your fellows, your God, and your King. And so, I don't want to be king of a fucking, garbage dump. That's what the fucking joint is now. Everywhere. You treat everything like it's a fucking waste pit for your fucking shit. It's not. Anyway, everything is connected to everything. But you didn't really to see any reverberant implications in that whatsoever. It's like speaking to, like having a fucking conversation with a stone. Most of you. Really. Anyway, worship the truth, please. There's inside of you to do. And you know what? You might even get a peek at our wives, and they're really beautiful, and there's something else. And they love you even more than I do. So, when I say things to you, I've got 4 women who remember exactly everything I speak. And for me to deviate from this, for me to steal from you, first of all, you got nothing I want or need badly enough to steal from you at all. Not a thing. Matter of fact, a lot of diseases that I prefer to stay away from and keep my family away from as well. But that can't be right. I'm stuck here in the middle with you. Of all this worship. And so, I'm no friend of the horseshit. I am your friend, no matter who you are. You can George Bush. I've said a lot of bad things about you, and a lot more are coming. You're going to pay for what you did. And so everyone else that worked with you, as well as Obama. You don't get to do that stuff for free. You always suspected this. You did. You did. But you thought, fuck, hasn't happened so far. I'm not going to worry about it. Well, you know, you sold the farm and lost. Or you bet the farm and lost. Guys, I was paying attention every second of every day that I was awake. I didn't have to be sober. I was still paying attention. For the last 45 years. All kinds of stuff. So I got memory on top of memories on top of memories like you wouldn't believe it. And my head isn't that cloudy. I forget to do stuff. I forget what day of the week it is, periodically. But I have a pretty clear ability to think, especially if I'm relaxed. I have at least a couple of my women and my brides in my house. And I can really think clear. Anyway, the point is that you need help, and lots of it, and, you know, a real lot of it. And I need your willing participation in that. I want to be dragging you. I'm sure I'm going to have to drag a few. I mean, I don't want to. I thought of dragging 7 billion into home, you know, makes me want to give up before I start. So, please, worship true. Begin the King's Art. And find somebody to love. Or, while you're doing this, allow the people that are discovering the beauty of you to love you. This is what the truth does. See? You have no idea. None. Give it a try. See what you have to lose. And I tell you what, if you come back to me and you say, I lost Hama Hama worshiping the truth and I want it back, I promise you, I'll give it to you. I'll give it back for you. Okay? I give you my word of honor as King of Kings. All 7 billion. If this be true for you, you can line up outside my house. I don't care where I am. And gain audience with me without complaint. It better be true. You better be able to convince me it's true. You might leave with a, you know, if you waste my time, you won't be happy with me. Probably for a long, long time. But if you're telling the truth, you're preaching for the truth, you got something. You do this process with everything you're got, with everything you're working, an open mind and an open heart, and you find that you lost something you want back, I'll fucking get it for you. You'll find yourself a new king, because I apologize, I will not be able to keep my word to you. It's very important for me to keep my word when I speak to you this way. So, basically I'm making a promise to 7 billion people right now in this very conversation. You do these things. You do this work. This way. You listen just for this long. And empty your own garbage out of your soul. And the only way to do that is in the presence of other consciousness, the other vertical fraud cognizing, you know, individuals that are currently sentient and can spell and write their own name and listen. And perfectly germane. So if you've stolen stuff from someone, the best thing is return to them. If that's not possible, they're dead, they got no fellow relatives, nobody else will possibly give it to you. You can find a charity or give it to the crown who will accept the apology and what was owed and 20% in place for the person. I worked with the apology, etc. And be granted forgiveness for whatever you've done. Now, but once we start to fly, once we start to ascend, then anything you haven't let go of, like the reality of real truth is going to grow apparent. You know what? They'll drop to the ground like you've been shot into the sky like a duck. So please, this is why we do this. It's for altitude. I don't do this because it's good for my fucking, income. I don't do this because it's good for my personality, my curb appeal or my popularity. Oh, it's not a popular message to be pretty. But it's the only one that's going to make any difference. Choose. Waste your life or make it productive. Enjoy it. Get your hands dirty in the truth. It will provide miracles for you like you cannot believe. I wouldn't lie to you. I can't lie to you. I got 4 women to answer to as well as Allah. And I said before, you got nothing I want. You could possibly ever make it worth it to me. Nothing. First of all, it's all mine already anyway. Oh, every nickel in your pocket, every strand of cotton in your underwear or soap. That's not every hair in your armpits, everything. It's a whole physical and psychic universe belongs to us. That's God's King of Kings. So, I'd like you don't have to respect me or honor me, but I'd like you to respect and honor yourself with the truth and your families, your kids, everybody you work with, the truth about you. Let go of your secrets. They're killing you, they're killing life, and they're killing everything you want. Your heart's desire is hidden from you because you're worshiping your lies. You'll never know love in that condition. That's that. I don't care how groovy your tits are. I don't care if your cunt smells like bubblegum. Naturally. Understand? You don't have this worship of the true as second nature in your heart. And have returned every stolen thing you ever took. Confessed every lie or every piece of malicious gossip you ever participated in. You get caught with that shit on you. It's gonna be like lead. You won't be able to fly. You won't make it. Please listen to your king. I win after you do. And I like to win. And I got, my whole future at stake in what you decide. So I beg you to worship the truth. You don't need to go anywhere or do anything different than you're already doing. It's inside of you to do. You will be happy. Your family will be happy, your God will be happy, and your king will be happy and proud to call you friend. Thanks. So this is for Sunday, June 9th, State of the Union Address, 2014.